Hi everybody, it's Sam at Mixed Up Craft. Thanks for watching my tutorial today. This is number 7 of my creative card series. So this is the last project. So for the last 2 weeks, if you haven't watched any of the videos, every other day I have put up a greeting card with some form of mechanism. Just something different to your standard open and close card. So I've received some really lovely comments from people, so thank you so much. It's really nice to know that you're enjoying them, and I've been sent pictures of ones that people have made, so to see other variations is also very nice. So yeah, I love it. Thank you very much. So this is, like I said, number 7. This is the last one, and this is kind of a bit of a pinwheel inspired, and then I used this star which I saw. Well, there was 2 that I saw. I saw one from Crafty Jojo on YouTube and one from Stamping Sasha, or Sasha Stamping. No, I think it's Stamping Sasha. So I looked at that and they were really nice, and then I thought, again, I've got this thing about there's all these lovely cards but they don't stand up, and these star ones, they were beautiful and the tutorials were lovely, but then they were just flat. So I wanted something where you could show them off so that they would look nice, obviously, after you've given them to someone. So I haven't done an envelope for this one. I forgot. It's the only one that I haven't. So I will. I'll put all the measurements when I make one into my blog, and I'll put a little flasher up on this video so that you can you know which one or what size to use. The sentiment is on the back, so you can write your message, and then basically all it does is just pop out like so, and so it would be that way, and it all opens up. So you can have it like that if you wanted to open. It just says happy birthday in it. You can go to town with this, you can do whatever you want. I've just got this nice papers, so I've just used those. And then it's a bit like folding a cardboard box, so you fold one down, and then the other one you put underneath it, and it all closes up again. And it turns around, like I said, little pinwheel style. So looking at this now, I think probably you could do a mask on the back here as well. So like this DSP I've got here, this pattern paper, could probably put a pattern piece on the back of this as well. Although saying that, when it's opened up you wouldn't see it anyway. But that is what we're making. So it's a really nice little stand. The stand is exactly the same as the one that I made for the double slider card. So again, they're just really nice stands to use for any card really. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. This would be great for Christmas as well. I've already got some really nice ideas for Christmas, so can you believe we're talking, and yeah, Christmas in July is crazy. Anyway, let's crack on and make it. So I'm going to sit that one up there. So you are going to need, so the papers I'm using for today's, and I've done it again, I've left my scoreboard on the other side. 1 minute. Okay, so the papers are from the range in the UK, and by Craft Sensations, and they're single-sided, but they're really nice papers, and you get 30 sheets, 3 of 10 designs, and you can see there these are really nautical, so just stripes and polka dots in the blue and red. Haven't used it yet, so I thought I could do that for this pinwheel style because I thought it would work really well. So that's that one. And then you are going to need, let me grab my scoreboard so I can go through all the measurements. So you need a few bits and pieces. So first of all, for your stand, you will need a piece of 11 by 4 inch cardstock. Okay. For the actual star itself, you need a piece of 8 1/4 squared, so 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. You then need, for your sentiment on the back, the DSP, so the actual pattern paper, is 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, and the white card on top is 3 7/8 of an inch by 3 1/2 inches. Then you need a piece for this piece here, this big star in the middle. So this piece measures 4 by 4. Okay, and then you need 3 pieces of 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and I'll show you how to make these little triangles. So 3 pieces of 2 1/2 by 2 1/2, and then you need 6 pieces of 3 7/8 of an inch by 1 inch, and you need 6 pieces of those. And then obviously if you do want to do that piece there, like I said on the back, then that would be the same as this coloured piece, so that would be 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. Okay, so what we'll do first is make the stand, because that's just easy and it's done and dusted. So grab your scoreboard. So first of all, along the 11 inch side, you're going to score at 4.5, at 9 inches, 9 7/8 of an inch, and 10 3/4. Okay, and then basically what you're going to do, I think that's all the scoring we need. There it is actually, so I can get rid of my scoreboard now. Put that down there. So all you need to do is pop some tape along the far right hand side where you've got that smallest tab, and then you just want to burnish all of your edges. And then you want to fold, so you fold that one down, you want to fold that one up, and you want to fold the next one down, and then that last one you want to fold up. So you've got a valley, a mountain, a valley, and then a little mountain. Just burnish it all again so it's all nice and flat, and then I've already put some red tape on the bottom. Just line that up. Like so. There you go, and there's your stand. So that was easy peasy, and that's just a great stand, like I said, to use for many things. It's just really handy, and it fits perfectly into an envelope as well. So that's your stand done, so you pop that all to one side now. So now we will make the main star. So grab your 8 1/4, let me check, it was, yep, 8 1/4 inch card. Now all you need here is a ruler and a pencil. So what you want to do first of all is along the bottom, is line your ruler up from the end there, the bottom left, up to the 8 1/4. Alright, and then you want to mark at halfway point, which will be 4 1/8 of an inch. So you just want to mark there at 4 1/8 of an inch. You want to do that again on the top here. So again, I'm a little bit off there, that shouldn't be a problem. 4 1/8. Okay, and then just get your ruler and you want to line up that little marker that you put there with the same marker at the bottom, and you can rub all these lines out, so you don't want to go heavy. Just do a line just so far down, you don't need to be precise with it. Then what you want to do is get your 8 1/4 and put that onto the 8 1/4 point of the ruler onto the bottom right hand corner of your card here. Okay, hold it there and then move your ruler until the top here meets that line, and just check that that's all down there. So basically you want to then mark that that is 8 1/4 from that score line down to your bottom right hand corner. Once you've got that, make sure it's exact, just do a faint pencil mark there. Okay, and then what you can do then is just again make sure you've got 8 1/4 at the bottom, and then your ruler should meet up perfectly at the top there, and again just mark that in like so. Okay, so now what we want to do is you want to put a marker at, let me just remember this one, so go onto this side now, because you've already got your marker of your centre point there. So you want to mark again the central point of this line, so again that's 4 1/8 of an inch, and again this one here you want to mark again 4 1/8 of an inch, and then we're going to join those lines up. So from that point to this point here it should be 4 1/8 of an inch. So again just draw a line and mark them together. Again here 4 1/8, and the final one 4 1/8. Now all of those should all line up. If they don't, then you know, you need to go back and check it again. Right, what you want to do now is mark at, well, let me just check what it was. Okay, then you want to mark 1 3/8 of an inch from each point. So from this point here, so 1 2 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so that's 1 1 2 3/8 of an inch, which hits that point. You then want to put another little marker there, and then again 1 3/8 of an inch on that one. And again here, just 1 3/8 of an inch. And on this one. Like so. Okay, and then we're going to join those. So again, just join point to point, and then we're going to score and cut these lines in a minute. And like I said, you can rub out the pencil. This is the only kind of fiddly bit. It's not hard, it's just, like I said, it's when you're working with angles, triangles and stuff, you've got to get it right. Okay, so that is what you should have now at this point. So what you can do now is cut this out. So if you want to use your yeah, I'm just going to grab get this all cut out. So what you will do first is, sorry, I should have mentioned as well, is just draw a line from the top of that. It doesn't matter if it's straight, just like so, and then cut that. So you can just match your corner to corner. Okay, and then you can then pop it in, and you want to make sure that your pencil mark is in line there and in line with the bottom. And again with this one. Like so. Get rid of that. And then my scoreboard again. And then we can just score these lines. So if you line your triangle up, so one of the flat sides along here, and basically just find a score line that meets with the lines that you've done. So in this case, the 3 5/8 of an inch on mine matches with that line. Okay, and then this one I need to just move ever so slightly on the 4 7/8 of an inch line and just score that one. And then just move it round again. And again, just make sure they're all lined up. And that last one. Like so. Right, that is all the hard work done. Although we do need to do a little bit of cutting on the squares. So what you can do now is you can rub out all of these pencil marks. That's all rubbed out now, and you should just have your score lines. Although I think I've missed one there. There we go. Okay, so sit that to one. Actually, no, burnish all of your sides. So what you want to do is you want to fold in first like that, and then bring this one out. And again, bring this one in, and your triangle should all sit within the big triangle there. So again, if your lines are out and it's not, then that's when you want to go back, and unfortunately you need to do it again because just your overall finish wouldn't look great otherwise. And then it will all come together like that, and you should have a tiny little gap because I'm going to show you then that's what you'll use to make your pinwheel kind of pierce through. I've got a tiny little bit of extra fluffy card there. There we go. Okay, so that's the main star, and that's what's going to sit then in the middle of our stand. See, all coming together. Okay, so what you want to do now is do the centre of that big piece. So again, this is just, so this is going to be on the front, so I'm going to turn it over and do my pencil marks on the back. So it's just exactly the same process as the big one to make this smaller triangle. So this is 4, so you just want to put a little marker at 2, and then again at the top, just put a little marker at 2, draw a pencil mark just down to kind of any point there, and then you want to then again get your 4 inches there and make sure the top is in line with that score line and just join it up. And again there, you've got your 4 and that point, like so. Okay, and now we can just cut that one out, and then we can stick that into the centre of that star. And this is all this is now, is all the decoration. So if you're confident you know how to do all this cutting and stuff, then you can just crack on and finish it all. So this now is going to sit inside. There is a slight border with it all, so obviously I've got white paper, so you don't really see it so much with this one, but again, if you're against black now or any kind of a different colour, you want to make sure you've got an even border all around that piece there. So I'm just going to put some, actually I'll use my my Pritt stick for this actually. I'm just going to do it off the camera just so I don't get the glue on my project. Like so. And again, remember with, so for example, when this is all, hold on, when this is all open, so that's the bottom of the stand there, it's actually the point of the triangle in the middle that's facing down with my display, so just bear that in mind with whatever. You'll see there that my actual papers say happy birthday kind of going off to that side, and it would have been that way, but then it means it doesn't stand up and it doesn't look like a star or a triangle, so that's why I've done it that way. So just bear that in mind when you're obviously sticking, but I'm using just a print rather than anything with writing on, so it doesn't matter. So you just want to lie that one down. Again, just make sure you've got a nice border. And all these layers that you're adding to it will also make it stronger, and if you are using a thinner card like this one is thinner, this is going to build it up and make it much stronger. So now you want to do the same with your little 2.5 by 2.5 squares. So I've already done those two just so the video's quicker. But again, it's the same process, so half of 2.5 is 1.25. So you just want to put a little mark. Oh, I was meant to do it on the other side. So you just want to do a little 1.5, and then again exactly the same process. Sorry, 1.25, and again at the top there, 1.25. That is right, isn't it? Have I gone blank? Yeah, no, it's right. I was thinking, oh, have I gone wrong with my maths? Okay. And again, I've just put a line right the way through, it doesn't matter. And then again, you just want to get your 2.5 point in this bottom corner here, and make sure the top of your point of your ruler is all lined up. And you want to repeat that on all 3 of those 2.5 by 2.5 squares that you've got. Cut it out, and then you want to stick them on these bits here. If you want to do that side as well, you can, but you don't see it, so that's the reason I've not bothered with doing them. But if you do want to do it all, then you'll need 6 of those. So again, I'm just going to stick all these down onto these 3 corners. Okay, so that's those 3 corners all stuck down, and again you'll see that there's a tiny little border. So again, you can't really see it against this white so much, but certainly if you were using it on a darker, you would see that you'd have a nice border, a bit like that one there. You can see the borders all around. Okay, so now we need to do all of these pieces here. So I've done 6 for these because when you fold it over, you do see both sides. You see this side and this side, so that's why I've used this red stripe, because I thought the stripe against the polka dot looks quite good, and then obviously against the blue. It's very patriotic as well, this one. Should have been a good one for like the 4th of July and Independence Day and all those kind of things that we celebrate. St. George's Day, that would have been good. Anyway, what you want to do here is turn them over, and you just want to do a little notch. You just want to do a little notch at 5/8 of an inch. So from the outside in, it should be 5/8 of an inch. So again, 5/8 of an inch, okay? And then you just want to do a little line, or if you want to free cut it, you know, just eyeball it, you can, just like so. And again, that one, like so. And you want to do that on all the backs of all those 6 and cut them, and then that will give you that shape. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on and do all of those. Remember, it was 5/8 of an inch. Okay, so they're now all cut out, so you just need to stick them and they will fit nicely in each of these little spaces there. Okay, so I'm just going to crack on and get all of that stuck down. Okay, so there you go. I've stuck all of those down and stuck the 3 on the back as well. So now when it all folds in, that is the design that you get. So really, really nice. So now all we need to do is punch a hole through the back, and you need a brad. So I threw mine all in here. Now I'm kind of wishing I didn't, because I have to painstakingly, although I've just found a white one. Or should I do blue? Maybe I should do a little blue one. Should I do blue? Let me just check. It's not an exact blue. I might change it if I find a better. It needs more of a softer. No, I'm going to stick with that white one for the minute, or maybe red. Yeah, red one. Okay, so grab, I've just got myself, no, I didn't use that in the end. Yes, I did, sorry. Yeah, I used it afterwards. So what you want to do is, so make sure you got the back of your stand with the seam layers on the back. You want it obviously facing the right way. Get your pinwheel, and you just want to put it so that when it all opens out, obviously that's what's going to be showing. It's going to be the bottom there. Now I've got mine probably about 1.25 inches up, which is there. Why did I do it so high? I don't think it needs to be so high, because you want it to turn around. So I'm going to do mine there, and that should still be, yeah, perfect. So it is pretty much central. So you just want to make sure that your point is not going over the end there. Okay, just make sure you've got even on here, so they should be coming over the edge slightly over the edge there, and then obviously a bit more at the top. You don't need to worry about it being straight because you're only making a hole, but you just want to make sure that it is, you know, you're happy that that's how it's going to be. So then just hold your finger over that hole, grab your pokey tool, put it through the middle of that hole that you've got, and just push it through, just carefully until you can feel it coming through your finger, like so. So I can feel it there. So now I can just go through that one a bit more, like so. And then I just used this, you don't really, I guess, but it was just then with the hole that I've done. And then obviously if you've got any sentiment in the middle here, you want that to not be ruined by the brad or be obscured by that, so just be careful. And then just feed it all through. Make sure your brad's, and that's obviously how then when it's opened up, yeah, it's going to sit nicely. So then you can fold it all up. So you want to fold them down and feed this side in. So like I said, it's like closing a cardboard box, like so, and then it will spin around. So it's a nice little toy. It's nice and centered in the card. And then I just want to stick my sentiment on the back. Should have done that before when I made the stand, but never mind. But that is it. So it's again, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a little bit fiddly working with those angles, but again, this has turned into an extremely patriotic card. Why didn't I think of this before? Anyway, I'm sure then I'll redo this one, but there, it looks really nice on the backs. Happy birthday to a very special person. You could put embellishments on this, but like I said, I think to make it less patriotic, maybe I do need to put a piece on the back here. So there you have it. Two, I think, quite unique, inspired by a variety of things, but with the stand and the size that I've done them, I think they turn into something very different. So there you have it. That is the last of my Creative Card Series 2017. The first one I've done, and I will definitely be doing it again. The response has been great. Like I said, I love hearing, reading your messages, Thank you for everybody that subscribes. I did put a little message up on my Facebook group, Mixed Up Craft, just thanking everybody. I've recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so again, that's quite a really, really nice thing, because I've only been doing this for just over 6 months. So I've been crafting pretty much my whole life, but in terms of my YouTube, that's very new. So yeah, just want to say a huge thank you, and tune in, keep watching, subscribe, like, all those kind of things, and I will continue to do this. So thanks guys, I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hit the like button and subscribe to see more. Thanks for watching, bye.